Most real estate coaching tells you to make 200 calls a day or buy overpriced portal leads just to survive. I built a career selling over 500 homes without doing either. When I left my job as a teacher to get into real estate, I realized that my clients didn't need just to be sold to. They needed to be educated. Today, I'm opening up my CRM, which happens to be Lofty, to show you the exact automated transaction workflow that replaces the turn and burn cold calling cycle, keeps clients calm, and turns one deal into predictable referral income. Let's dive in. There's a massive trap in this industry, and it happens the second you actually get a win. You finally get a buyer under contract, and instead of leaning into the relationship, your coach or your broker is still beating you over the head. Get your 200 calls in for the day, or do this one thing. Don't forget. So what happens? There's a major interruption in the transaction process. You end up focusing more energy and effort on calling strangers than you do on the client who actually trusted you with their biggest asset. This becomes a turn and burn process. Prioritizing pure hustle over sustainable systems like this will absolutely burn you out. Here's what the cold call coaches are missing. People move in cohorts. If your client is buying a house, it is highly likely their friends are in the exact same life cycle and are getting ready to move too. If you drop the ball on the contract experience because you are too busy dialing, you lose that entire cohort. Treating your real estate like a series of isolated transactions limits your growth, but when you bring an educator mindset to the contract phase, you unlock all of these future deals. Most agents go completely chaotic once it is under contract. They manage the deal out of their inbox, which leads to stressed clients constantly texting you at 9 p.m. asking you what happens next, and you respond, that's what happens next, and train them to call you at all hours of the day or text you when it's convenient to them so they get a response. Let me give you a real-world example early on. I had a first-time home buyer who was terrified of making a mistake. Instead of just verbally telling them everything was fine, they received a structured video from me the morning after we went under contract, explaining exactly what the inspection phase looked like. By anticipating their questions before they were asked, they felt completely supported. Not only did we close smoothly, but they sent me 2 referrals from their exact same peer group in the next 6 months because I communicated well when it mattered most. They trust me with their friends. They trust me with their people. Now let's pause for a second. If you are watching this and you don't even use your CRM, I was there. If you're managing your database on a spreadsheet, the Notes app on your phone, or just relying on your memory, do not panic. Building a real estate business is not one size fits all. You don't need 1,000 contacts to start doing this right. You just need to implement this system on your very next deal. Treating one client perfectly on the back end is worth 100 cold calls on the front end. Let me show you exactly what this looks like. All right, we are inside my Lofty CRM, and I want to show you the exact architecture of my transaction management. First and foremost, we want to make sure that we have the ability to put our transactions in here. I've set up a transaction where I'm the lead here, and I'm also the owner and the agent. So within this transaction management software, I could come in here, I can edit this, I can put a property in here so that all of the information is here. We'll do East 108th place, right? Perfect. So here's the address, it auto-populates, we hit save. But here's where the magic happens. Within my transaction software, within my CRM, which I actually sell, if you're interested in that, we can do a consultation later. But I can come in here and I can say, okay, here's the pre-contract dates, but it gets better. We're going to go to the under contract dates. We're going to have the title company, the lender, the earnest money amount, the earnest money holder, the time of day. I enter all of this once we go under contract. I'm in Colorado, so this is exactly through customization what I can do with my CRM in this transaction management piece. Everything is here. Then it gets down to, closings. I even have notes for the social media post, signing in date time, pre-close walkthrough, and I'll show you why I have all of this in a second. But then it comes down to checklists, accounting. I'm able to add the vendors if I want to add a vendor. So let's say my lender is the all trustee, Nicole Ruth. Here we go. We can apply that, and she is now here in this. I can add the escrow officer if I wanted to. I can add assistants, I can add photographers, I can add anyone I want to in here. What this does is it's one place, and then I can add documents, right? If I wanted to, I could have, all of the contracts in here and even offer an e-sign piece, connected through my CRM, which I don't use either of these, so it doesn't work, but you can house everything in one place. This is just the beginning. So this is where the education comes in. If I come over here to my, smart plan, I can sit here and it says, okay, here we go. It says this is a buyer, okay? When the buyer is tagged, tag is a loan buyer, right? This is my tag because obviously if there's a cash buyer, there's different workflows. So then I come in here, a checklist, right? Checklists are huge in this, and this piece helps me manage the workflow. So once I put someone under contract, they come under contract, I put loan buyer, I change their scope to buyer, and if they're under contract, this goes. So I need to first update transactions with contract dates, transaction contacts, and information. That's what I just showed you within my transaction piece. Then I go to tag with buyer. That's already done, so I make sure that's done, right? Once I check these two off, then we wait 3 minutes just in case I accidentally do it. And then a notification goes out. This is my VA who handles all of my social media posts and all of that. And this is my TC. So she has a client's name, lead name, the address. That's all here. Right here is an address pulled directly from that transaction I just sent. And then obviously the lead name, so she knows what's going on. She has the back end of the signing software, and we're off to the races, right? Then here's the cool part, and I wish I could make this bigger. But for the most part, here we are. Okay, just congratulations, this is what's going on. Here's the inspection, this is what's going on. Here's 3 inspectors. Make sure you ask them about radon and sewer and all of those things, because I recommended that, right? This is a major CYA and something that's very important to me, right? And so when this comes down, I say inspections typically take 2 to 4 hours. This is the deadline, which is pulled directly from that contract information I just put in. Once you've booked the dates and times, let me know and I can inform the listing agent, right? Then we're gonna move on to insurance. We're gonna talk about that, the importance of that here in Colorado especially, making sure we're looking at those quotes because the quotes are specific to the property, so they don't know that before. And so we can get those quotes going. And then your lender, who I put in earlier in the transaction, I'll say their name here, they're gonna ask for that as we go. And then we need to deliver earnest money, okay? This is it. You have 3 steps, they're drawn out. There's all the people you need to contact. And then it says, what to expect. Make sure you're in contact with your lender. Make sure you're doing that. This is huge, and especially if it goes out quickly to the, lender. This is especially important when you have first-time home buyers that are like, okay, we're under contract, and then it takes you 4 hours or 6 hours to make the introductions and what's next. They call that the zone of doubt, and people start to freak out. Then they start to ask questions, and that's the worst case scenario for you. But here, we're making sure that they have all of this. Here, we're under contract, congratulations. You're gonna get an email, check it out, right? Set the inspection. Start focusing on insurance. Get the earnest money in by the due date, and so on, right? And then what to expect next. But then here is where it goes. There's a checklist item that populates after that email goes. Once we are through inspection, because we don't always work in deadlines, right? We don't wait till the last minute most of the time to get the inspection. So say we get inspection on day 2, the inspection deadline's not till day 8, right? We click this checklist, okay? All it is, okay? The inspection resolution complete, check that. Did I notify the lender to make sure the appraisal's, set up and ordered? Check that. Once that happens, we wait a period of time, and then it's more education, right? It's title commitment, it's appraisal, it's final loan approval, all the things that are coming next in bite-sized chunks with all of the information and everything that they need right here in this email, okay? Once that happens, I order my closing gift, and and it has all the information here based on what they do. They do custom wood signs, so they need the address, they pull the coordinates, they put them on there. And then the next thing is a checklist. Boom. Are we through? We're through appraisal. Appraisal is good. So now we need to look towards confirming the appraisal is as is. Check box 1, right? Schedule final walkthrough and add it into the transaction piece. Okay, contact client and get their preferred closing date, time, location. Schedule closing with the title company. Verify closing and possession is correct, because sometimes that changes throughout the process. I check all those boxes. Next is here. Boom. Loan approval. This is a big deal. We need to pay attention. We have to have final loan approval by the loan availability deadline. And then, here we go. Final walkthrough. Here's where it's going to be. This is the date and time. Here's the closing. What to bring: a valid driver's license and a cashier's check. Talk to your lender about what's going on, and a wire safety reminder, just because I don't want people, doing that. Moving prep. Get ready to move. Utility transfers. Water's transferred here in Colorado. The rest is not. Okay. This is your possession date. You can call them ahead of time and set it up. Make sure that you call them if you don't get that done. Again, another ask. Who can I help? Who can I help next? Right? All of this is built in. Once the closing's confirmed, same thing. 2 things. I update a bunch of stuff, and then they're moved to the close pipeline, where another, smart plan will fire, asking for testimonials and doing those things. This is a game changer in your business if you're able to have a customizable CRM that you're able to actually pull in all of this information, put it in one time, and that it's going to go out in sequential order when it's right to your clients. What is the immediate ROI of setting something like that up? First of all, it's peace of mind, because my clients read these emails, and if there are videos that I send throughout the process for contracts and other things, I get dramatically fewer frantic text messages. I'm ahead of them, but they always know what's going on. But the long-term effect is even bigger. A real estate career is not just about the next commission check. The exact system is how I manage 52 solo transactions in a single year without losing my mind. It gave me the time to focus on wealth building, team building, and long-term strategy. Operating without a system is a guaranteed way to burn out. You treat your clients like students and guide them clearly through the transaction. You will never have to beg for a referral or make a cold call again. And here's the thing. Some people are like, oh, I have a transaction coordinator, and they send all of that. That is great. I love that, but I want this information to come from me, and I'm able to add the different perspectives of what's going on. The transaction coordinator is just that. They manage the transaction. They make sure the dates are all dialed in and everything's going. But when I can add the extra educational pieces here, it positions me as their guy for the next transaction, as their guy when their mom wants to move, as their guy when their friend wants to move, as their guy when they want to sell their house, right? So to help you get started, I've put my entire database checklist inside. To help you get started, I am willing to offer a free realtor game plan call to you. Just book the link below and I will go through everything exactly like it is. We'll look at your CRM and see if we can manage some of this. I've managed it in pretty much all the CRMs. There are some things like the transaction customization and all of that are, dependent on that. But if we can get on a call, I can look at it for 15 minutes. I can talk to you about exactly how to set it up, what you're going to have to do manually, what you can do automatically. Or if you're in market for a CRM, we can talk about that and give you this exact platform for an affordable price that might change the game for your business. Because ultimately, staying organized, building in automation, right, in this AI, world, everyone wants those automations. If you are interested in that, please book a call with me below. If not, I hope this helps. Please use it. Please take from it what you like. And I promise you, your clients will start to see the professionalism. They'll understand that you are the resource for all things real estate related because you're educating them through the process. And there's some clients that just don't want it, but they still appreciate that email is there. They trust you. They're like, whatever you say goes. But those are the ones that get surprised, and you can point back to those emails and be like, yeah, I told you, in an email, but I also told you in person, like we want to make sure we get sewer scopes and those kind of things. So If you're interested in learning more, let's chat. If not, we'll see you on the next video.